Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on today? I am super duper excited because I have New York Times best-selling author Jill Shalvis hanging out with us today, guys. And guess what? It is her new novel, The Summer Escape, that is live, hot off the press, and she will be sharing with us and talking to us today about this book, which is book 6. It can be read as a standalone in the Sunrise Cove series. So, first off, guys, you know what to do here at the cafe. Like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to come on down to the cafe because we're hanging out with author Jill Shalvis on today. Jill, please, my friend, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, hello. I'm happy to be here. Happy to see all of you again. And I'm Jill Shalvis. I write contemporary romances with some humor and some steam and some family drama and usually a bromancer too.
I love that. I love that. And you actually talked about some of the things in your style of writing that we will definitely talk about on today that I absolutely love. So, first of all, congratulations. Happy new release of The Summer Escape. Let me just tell you, it is definitely hot on the list of summer reads that you definitely need to read. But before we get started, you know I love a cover, Jill. And your covers are, oh my goodness, I love your covers. But can you share with us what was it like for you when you saw the finished copy of the final version of this cover for The Summer Escape?
I was super excited. I think they always do a good job.
Yeah.
The hardest part with the Sunrise Cove series is people assume they're connected books. So I always worry about that. They are not connected. They're standalones connected only by setting. And I think they did a great job on the setting of this one. It's beautiful colors and the dog is there.
Yes, yes.
I went to a conference.
Like, the attention is in the detail, like the little small details or what have you in this particular book and this cover as well. Now, I also not only do I enjoy a good cover, but I'm a title girl. And this title, Jill, is called The Summer Escape. Now, I'm gonna ask you to spill a little bit of tea.
Okay.
Was The Summer Escape, was that your original working title? Or The Summer Escape came later? Tell us about that.
That was my working title from the get-go. I knew that this book was going to be a mystery. I mean, I should have said that in the intro. This book, it has a mystery in it as well as the romance, kind of a madcap mystery where scavenger hunt almost, if you will.
Yes.
They're after treasure for two very different reasons. The heroine thinks it belongs to her and the hero thinks it belongs to his aunt. And it's very complicated. But I knew that the title needed to reflect a little bit of that because I also knew the cover wouldn't. I think they reached out to the romance people with that cover more than the mystery, obviously. So I just couldn't come up with anything better, that. And I like the word escape. So that's how it ended up on the title.
I love that. Well, I love the title, The Summer Escape. And you hit upon something because that's something that's a little new for you. This particular romance, it does have a mystery element that I love, by the way. But what was that like for you tapping into that mystery side of this romance?
Well, I love doing that. I love writing mystery or suspense or even a little tinge of thriller there. But this one is more mystery than suspense. And I hadn't done that for some time. It was the idea was great. I was so excited about the idea, but in the executing of the idea, it was torturous because getting the beats of the romance and then getting the beats of the mystery and then having them all line up, it was a challenge.
Wow. Now, Jill, you hit on something too that I actually have down here in my notes that it has that scavenger hunt feel. Oh my goodness, that was like super cool. When they had to go to the different places and they was finding information and there was a clue here and all of that good stuff as well. Did you set out to know that it would have a scavenger hunt kind of feel? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, for me, plotting it, I started with the end and then worked backwards.
Oh, wow. That's some tea, Jill. That's some tea.
I don't know how else to do it because I wasn't sure. There's a question of who is right. Is her dad a criminal or is his aunt cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? So I really had to balance that. I didn't want to make it obvious which one was right and who was wrong. So when I first started it and just started writing, before I really understood it was going to have this mystery element in it, I didn't know the answer to that question. And I decided I can't write this book and not know. So I
Right.
went to the end and then worked backwards.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, guys. Let me tell you, if you are just joining us, we are hanging out with author Jill Shalvis on today, guys. Hot off the press, The Summer Escape. It is available. And of course, if you just hold on tight, we will definitely be sharing with you how you can get a copy of her new release, The Summer Escape. Feel free to put comments in the comment section, all of that good stuff as well. But we are excited about hanging out with author Jill Shalvis on today to talk The Summer Escape. And guys, she just might spill a little bit of tea. I love that. I love that. Now, Jill, when you think about The Summer Escape, let me just tell you, you fall in love with the characters, and we're going to talk about the characters in just a little bit. I mean, her sister Wendy, I literally was telling somebody the other day, I was like, I absolutely loved Wendy's character. But you said a little bit about your writing. Your stories are filled with space, often humor. What is that like for Jill Shalvis to add that little humor into her writing?
I really don't know how to write without it. I thought this book is going to be a little more serious than the others, but it wasn't. And I just find humor in the silliest, wackiest of places. So even in this mystery where things are pretty serious, I realized very quickly that Wendy was going to be the comedy relief.
And she was indeed. Oh my goodness, she was indeed. Now, let's talk about this a little bit. You mentioned a little bit about the plotting, but for The Summer Escape, and this is another opportunity for you to spill a little bit of tea with us. But what came first for you, Jill? Was it the plot, or was it these amazing characters?
It's usually always the characters for me. This time both happened
Okay.
at the same time. The characters and the mystery came at the same time. And I was trying to figure out how to balance the characters, the romance, and the mystery, because as soon as I started writing, I realized very quickly that Wendy was a very large personality, the sister of the heroine. Annie's the heroine. And so I knew she was going to be the comedic relief, but I didn't want her on the page taking away from the romance and the mystery. So I came up with this idea that she's pregnant with triplets and she's on bed rest, and but she's so nosy and
Yes.
so older sister bossy. She could not stand that Annie, my heroine, was having this wild adventure without her. So she made Annie carry her around in an earbud and and an air pro on her head so that she could actually see what was happening. So that's how I kept Wendy on the page without having her on the page, really.
I love that. I love that. And I'm gonna ask you a little bit about some of the characters. I'm gonna get you to describe them for us. But one of the things that I wanted to definitely share with you, and I wanted to find out, okay, there's a theme in the book with naming these triplets. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. First of all, hilarious. And I love how like each time that they would you would kind of throw it in there, and of course it would be three, like with this trio, but there was different things that they would be referenced to, like whether it was a flower, where there was, and was one like, was it the Powerpuff Girl? It was something, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is hilarious. Jill, please share, what was that like? Because it's a lot of them. I mean, how did you come up with all those trios of names, whether it was characters from movies, where, I mean, that was amazing, my friend. Tell us a little bit about that.
Wendy has had problems getting pregnant. And
Yeah.
so the storyline for Wendy could have been very serious. Like, she's got some health issues. She's on bed rest. They're trying to get the triplets to stay inside as long as they can and be safe. So I thought if we played around with something about the pregnancy to kind of lighten the mood every time. And Annie, she was scared for her sister, basically, like terrified for her sister. So the only way she could lighten the load was making fun of what the three names could possibly be. So every time they talked about the twins, she came up with like snap, crackle, and pop, or
Right.
thing one, thing two, thing three. And it worked. It helped.
It did. It totally worked. I love that. Like I said, I was actually talking to somebody yesterday. It was either yesterday or it may have been earlier today, but I told them that that was definitely one of those comedy reliefs inside the book that I absolutely got a kick out of. And also like putting the trio together of what it was referencing or what have you. That was totally fun. And I'm sure that was fun for you to write as well. Now, speaking of the characters, and we're going to talk about them in just a little bit in a little more detail, but in this book, of course you have Anna Moore, who is the heroine
Mhm.
in this particular book. What can you tell us about her? Either describe her in a couple of words, or what's something special you want to tell us about her?
She presents as kind of serious and solemn, and she was life kind of beat her down a little bit in the backstory. And so I wanted to show her making a full circle back to her real personality, which is much more vibrant and charismatic and snarky. But
Yeah.
I wanted to see the journey. So that's why I started in the place I did, and hopefully we got her there.
Wow. Well, I want to tell you, according to Angela and the Literary Cafe, yes, we did get her there. And that's one of the things that I enjoy about your writing too, Jill, is how you share those journeys a lot of times of your characters as well. And definitely she had a journey. And of course, we gotta talk a little bit about the hero, Owen Harris. What can you tell us about Owen?
From the moment he walked on the page, he was just the sexiest, funniest thing. He'd
Yes,
overtake
yes.
every scene he was in.
Jill, you're gonna make me pull out my fan, okay?
He was, and he knew it. And I think the thing is I built him in that way so that he has fun for a living. He's an expedition leader, and he, teaches people how to surf and paddleboard and all that. So I built him that way so that Anna could see some of the life she was missing out on by being so internal. And so he was able to slowly bring her out. So he was a device at first. He was going to be the device that brought her back to life. And then he turned out to be this guy who just almost took over the whole story.
Right. And I love that. And with one thing about this book, Jill, is of course you fall in love with the hero and the heroine, and then the side characters are amazing, but you do it in such a way that the side characters don't overpower the story of the hero and the heroine. And of course, Jill, you got to share with us a little bit about his great aunt as well. Tell us a little bit about her character.
Well, she's his only living relative, and he's clinging to that, even though she's elderly and she has a lot of health problems and she's losing her mind a little bit. And she's only aware of that about half the time. And that's super hard on him. So he's doing everything he can to get her treasure back, which is what's missing, which is the whole point of the story. These people are after her treasure that he thinks has been stolen. So he's protective and fearful, and he knows what it's like to love and lose. And that was hard for him because he feels like he's losing her right in front of his eyes.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Guys, again, if you're just joining us, we're hanging out with award-winning author Jill Shalvis and hanging out with us today, The Summer Escape. Guys, let me just tell you, it's a good one. It is perfect summer reading. It can be read as a standalone. And as I said, we will definitely be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of this amazing, amazing page turner of a summer read. Jill, okay, we talked about the characters a little bit, my friend. Okay, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a meet cute girly. I love a meet cute. Jill, tell us about this meet cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was swooning. I was doing a whole bunch when I was reading this meet cute. But tell us what it was like to bring the meet cute of when Anna and Owen had their first encounter.
Are you talking about when he comes to her office?
Yes.
Well, she's a investigator, private
Yes.
investigator, and she likes a schedule.
Yeah.
And she has a very fierce receptionist who protects her and her
Yes.
schedule. And in walks Owen, no appointment and he's seen her on the news. We should back up, and he's seen a coin from his great aunt's missing collection.
Right.
So he's hot and irritated. And so is she, because he comes in without an appointment. And then he has all this snark, and she has some snark too. So that bickering was really fun.
Yeah.
I think that she's just bowled over by him from the beginning. She's drawn to him when she doesn't want to be. She's pretty much sworn off men. And here's this, and he pretty much says to her, if you don't work with me, I'm just going to follow you around. So
Right.
you might as well let me in. And she's never, she's the most untrusting person in the whole book. So it was fun.
Right. Look, Jill, and then on top of that, I mean, this is a little tease, but then on top of that, it's like he's almost like low key saying, your dad has something to do with it, So it's
Absolutely.
almost like, okay, who is this guy coming in my office,
Mhm.
But I absolutely loved the meet cute for both of those particular characters as well. Now, Jill, when you think about all these amazing characters in the Summer Escape, is there one, or there could be more than one, that was interesting and fun for you to write? And then at the same time, was there one that was a little bit more complex?
Well, the same person is both. And it's Owen. He was fun, and his scenes were easy for me to write. At the same
Wow.
time, he was the hardest because I didn't intend for him to quite have the role that he ended up having.
Okay.
I mean, he basically turns her life around for her. She's wondering if her dad really did these horrible things he's accused of. And in the beginning, I think, she thinks maybe he did when he
Yeah.
shows up with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was really complex and yet delicious.
Wow. So that's some tea too. Oh my goodness, that is interesting as well. Now, I also want to ask you because Jill, you are low key like the queen of like this small town, Lake Tahoe, like area, all of that, which I love a good small town as well. But for you, what do you enjoy about writing that small town feel?
Well, I like the sense of community, for one thing,
Ooh.
because it puts everyone in everyone's business, and I kind of
Yes,
like,
yes.
yeah. But for me, also, I'm a big city girl. I was born in New York or New Jersey, lived in New York, then grew up in LA. So all I know is big city stuff. And I
Right.
used to love just the cliches of the small town. I thought, oh, that's not true. None of that's true, but it's funny. And then we moved to a tiny, small mountain town. And I'd never seen snow. I'd never seen wolf spiders that big as my hand. I'd never had
Wow.
bears in my backyard. Like, everything about this being in the mountains in a small town was new. And I thought, it is true, because you can go to the supermarket and you see your dentist in aisle 1, and your kid's principal in aisle 2 of the grocery store, and
Yeah.
your gyno in aisle 5. And it's just everything that they joke about a small town is actually true. So I knew I'd found a setting I wanted to. I just loved writing all the funny, poignant parts, because in LA, you could be completely anonymous. You could go days without seeing someone you knew. And it's not like that in a small town. So I really, really enjoy that.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And I'm glad that you said that too about the little quirks and stuff of small town, because it's what makes small town a small town, And
Yeah.
you
And
just gotta love it.
I always say, like, you can, in these small towns I write, you could keep a pot of gold in your car and it won't get stolen, but
No.
you cannot keep a secret. Like, there's no keeping a secret in a small town.
Look, and it's always, people, either being messy, or the gossipers, or of course, you love like the main street, and just that's like a whole life in itself as well. So thank you for sharing that. But we enjoy reading small town as well. Now, Jill, we're gonna play a round of this or that, my friend, and I promise you, there's no right or wrong answer, because it's all things according to Jill Chavez. Are you ready, my friend?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, well, first up is enemies to lovers or friends to lovers?
I love me a good enemies to lovers, but
Okay.
there's
Ooh,
something special about a friends to lovers, and it's super hard to pull off. I'm trying to pull it off right now in my next book.
okay.
So fingers crossed.
I love it. I love it. Okay, now, Jill, you shared this one with us just a little bit, but small town or big city?
Well, for right now, I'm happy in the small town.
Okay,
I
I
do write
love
big
that.
cities too.
Okay. Next up, Jill, Beach or mountains? Beach or mountains?
This is tough. I live in the mountains, but my heart is at the beach. Does that make any sense? Like that's what
It makes
I live
sense.
where most of you vacation, but I go to vacation at the beach.
I love that. I love that. Okay, now Jill, because it's summertime, the book is called The Summer Escape. We got to do a little summertime. So for Jill, is it
Mhm.
popsicle or ice cream?
Oh, ice cream.
Okay.
You can't
Jill, is it flip flops or sandals?
flip flops.
Okay. Okay. I love it. And of course, Jill, we got to know here at the cafe, my friend, are you team tea or are you team coffee?
Tea
Okay. I love that. Thank
all
you
day
so
long.
much,
I'm
Jill.
drinking it right
We're
now.
playing a round of this or that with us on today. And guys, I want you to know there is a giveaway. The giveaway is sponsored by Jill Shalvis, her publisher. They're giving away a copy of The Summer Escape. And Jill, I'm going to allow you to help me, my friend. If you could give me a number between 1 and 10. And basically, our readers, they have been commenting in the comment section. And so I will use the number that you give me, and we will go through the comment section, find that number comment, and that person will be the winner of a copy of The Summer Escape. So, Jill, if you can think a number between 1 and 10, and then I will take that number.
Let's go with 7.
7. Okay, I love it. 7, guys. So the person that is the 7th comment, we will let you know who that person is. You will inbox me here at the Literary Cafe, and we will get that information over to Jill Chavez Publishers, and they will get you out your copy of The Summer Escape. I love that. I love that. I love that. Now, Jill, okay. Think about through writing this particular book when you started, outlining it out, all of that good stuff, fleshing it out. You hit the end, you're finished. The book is live and in color now. What did Jill Chavez enjoy about writing The Summer Escape?
I loved that mystery element. I love putting the mystery in the book and balancing it out with the romance. And I hope to do that again and again because that was pretty fun.
I love that. Love that. Now, Jill, my friend, I know they're ready to find out how can they get their hands on a copy of The Summer Escape. And I know that it's available in ebook. It is available in print. Is it available in audiobook as well?
Yes,
Or
all three.
I love it. I love it.
Audio, print, and digital, and you can order it in your favorite format anywhere that you order your books. Amazon, Barnes Noble, Apple, Kobo, wherever, Google Play. You can also find it in Walmart and Barnes Noble, and some other stores too. But if you're looking for print, you should probably order it because it seems like they're hard to find.
I love that. Guys, let me just tell you. Okay, Jill Chavez has spilled some tea. We love when a book is available in all 3 formats. And at The Summer Escape, it is. It's audio, print, and ebook, whatever suits your fancy. And as Jill Chavez has shared with us, you can go to your try your local indie bookstores. You can go to where books are sold, some of the bigger stores, the bigger chains, and order you a copy. Let me just tell you, this book is amazing. You will totally enjoy this book. So, like, tag, share, tell a friend to get a copy of The Summer Escape. And of course, once you read it, guys, definitely leave a review. I know that author Jill Chavez will be so appreciative of that as well. And not only that, if you see it out in the wild, take a picture, tag
Yeah.
Jill Chavez, send it, share with everybody, you and your copy of The Summer Escape. And of course, Jill, we cannot leave without you sharing with us, how can we stay connected with you?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and my website has a blog, so you can find me anywhere, really. I post pictures of lots of stuff in the Tahoe area on my Instagram if you're interested.
I love that. I love that. And Jill, you mentioned your website. Is there a newsletter that they can sign up
Oh,
for
yes.
on your website
Thank
as
you.
well?
You're good. Yes. Go to my newsletter, or my website, jillshalvis.com, and on the upper right, hit the newsletter and sign up for the newsletter because I do giveaways every newsletter. So You don't want to miss
I
out.
love it. Well, guys, you heard it from Jill Chavez herself. Definitely, you can connect with her on her website. You can sign up for her newsletter. You can connect with her on social media, all of that good stuff. All of that to participate with hanging out with Jill Chavez. I love that. I love that. Now, Jill, it's been amazing hanging out with you today. Again, thank you so much for coming to us here at the cafe and talking about the summer escape. And so, Jill, I want to allow you, my friend, to have the last words of what you want to say to the people.
Well, come out and see me, come to my Instagram, sign up for my newsletter. And I also want to say thank you for being here tonight. And thank you, Angela, for having me again. I really appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Well, thanks again, Jill Chavez. Okay, guys, I'm giving you an assignment. It is The Summer Escape. If you have not read this book yet, if you have not ordered this book yet, get you a copy. It is hot off the press. It's an amazing read. It's a page turner. And as Jill Chavez has shared with us, it has a mystery element that you will fall in love with it as well. Jill, again, thank you for hanging out with us. And guys, as we always say here at the cafe, have an amazing day because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, we will see you guys later and talk to you later about some amazing books. Get a copy of The Summer Escape. See you later.
Thank you.